I'm Mark Olsen. I write about movies for the Los Angeles Times, and thank you to another of our Chase Sapphire Reserve experiences presented by the Los Angeles Times here at the Sundance Film Festival. Today, we're going to be talking about the new film Gail Daughtry and the Celebrity Sex Pass. And joining us from the film, we have director, co-writer, and producer David Wain, co-writer, producer, and actor Ken Marino. From the cast, we have Zoey Deutch. Ken, maybe we'll put you there. John Slattery. Miles Gutierrez-Riley. And Ben Wang.
Can I just say one thing?
Yes.
I said this to you backstage, but it bears repeating because it is so insane. This is an LA Times panel, and myself and some of the cast people here live in LA.
Wow.
And to complete the triangle, this movie was shot in LA.
Whoa!
Now, for folks who
Is that the end of the interview?
That's it.
That was great.
Now, for folks who haven't seen the movie yet, Ken, maybe can I ask you to describe the movie for people?
The movie is called Gail Daughtry and the Celebrity Sex Pass. And the movie is about Gail Daughtry and a celebrity sex pass.
It is not a misleading title. It is not a bait and switch.
Now, David, can you talk a little bit about the inspiration for the film? What got you and Ken to write it?
The idea came when the seed of the idea was, could we have a story on film about Gail Daughtry that involved a celebrity sex pass?
And then we sort of took off from there.
The truth, though, is I know that sounds. It's not. That's basically is the actual true answer. It wasn't. It was essentially we thought it would be. We wanted to write something about. Thought was so interesting the notion of a celebrity pass that a couples some have a lighthearted agreement that if they were to meet a certain celebrity, then they could cheat on the other without ramification, and just taking that as the starting point, and then what if one of the couple actually did it, and then we built this adventure into a kind of whimsical, fun version of Hollywood.
Because the two of you have collaborated now on a lot of projects. What draws you back to working together?
Well, David lives close to me, so it's easy to go over and write stuff. Well, we just enjoy. We met.
He's kidding. That's the main reason.
We met our first day of college in 1987, and we became friends, and we have been creating stuff. We were in this group together called The State. Thank you so much. And then we've been creating ever since, and we just enjoy writing with each other, and we have fun, and we make each other laugh, and so. As we were working on our own careers, we always try to get together and write stuff together to try to see if we can make it. And we got very lucky and made this movie and a couple of other ones.
Do you want to add any of that, David?
I think that's exactly right. And I think we as that group, The State, just became sort of a baseline group of friends that have continued to work together in different configurations over 30 plus years since college. And it's just a very lucky thing to have this community of people that we trust and that we find each other funny and that we like working together.
And Zoey, you play the character of Gail Daughtry. How did you find the character? Because she's kind of this wide-eyed ingenue on this kind of wild misadventure. Like, how did you approach the character?
You know what I was thinking, what I thought a lot about was, did you ever see Kimmy Schmidt, that show? I thought she was so great in that. I mean, I just thought it was such a. I use that sometimes as a reference point. I would remember her choices, but that's sort of a side note. It just came to me last night when I was watching it. How did I approach it? I don't know. They wrote an amazing script, and the character was really, it was on the page. I just had to go there and try not to mess it up as much as possible. But yeah, I mean, I don't know how to answer. What do you think? How do
I will say that on the page, it's a very, like it's a fun character. It's a light character. It's
a brilliant
But what you brought to it, was emotional depth and heart to an absurd story, and you grounded this character that is, does ridiculous things throughout this movie, and I think that's why the movie works so well, because you brought such heart and truth to it in such an absurd world.
And she also came to it asking like really good questions all the time and sort of making good suggestions that we loved, and it was.
Except for you, really quickly, Nick. My first thing, I was like, "Can I have an accent? Can I have a Minnesotan accent?" And you were like, and then never.
No, that didn't.
It was a hard no.
That went nowhere.
That was a hard pass.
I thought you were doing an accent the whole time.
And Miles, I want to ask you. You play sort of like the kind of like best friend, sort of hype man to Gail that I think any of us would wish to have. Like, how did you approach the role?
Well, I think first, we had a chemistry read before I got the part, and I think we pretty like organically clicked. Zoe's such a generous performer, so jumping into those scenes with her it's not like I had to like really fake being supportive of her. I just had to like look into her gorgeous eyes and, deliver that hype. Yeah, I mean, like with any, do you see it?
I never noticed that until now. Yeah. She does have nice eyes.
You have to look close. What do you think?
Ben, you want to take a look?
Yeah.
All those many months in post-production, I never saw that until now.
And I have an eye for the little things, so I caught on to that quick. Yeah, I just jumped in, and with especially like in comedy, you just have to like say yes, and I think we did that together all the time. So yeah, it was really fun.
Because Ben, in the film, you play a junior talent agent, and was that based on anybody in particular? Have you encountered any somewhat hapless junior talent agents yourself?
No, I just used my own incompetence and idiocy. It all came from me, and that's the truth.
Perfect.
Now, John, you play a character. Let me check this here. John Slattery is your character. Now, what was that? Right?
He spent years researching this.
Well, what was that like for you? I mean, you're playing this, satirical version of yourself. Was there ever a moment where, even given that, you were like, I wouldn't do that?
I would never do that. They tried to get Brad Whitford to play me, but he wasn't available. Can we get rid of that baby, first of all? That's every time I it's all I hear. Just kidding. Good Lord. I love kids.
Talk about Henry.
No, I read the script and it was funny and it was really funny.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was just hilarious, and I was honored. I mean, I'm such a fan, and I was like, what? I had no idea. John Hamm called me and said, "There's the David Wain wrote a script with Ken, and there's a part for you in it." And I was like, "Oh, great! I hope it's a good part." And then they sent it to me, and I read it, and it was this part, and I was like, "Wow, what?" Yeah, it was. I was completely honored and thrilled, and it was a great script, and I was in immediately.
The point that John is trying to make is, I'm friends with John Hamm.
The movie is true in that sense. Like I haven't seen John Hamm in I don't know how long since we finished that show, and he's
What show is that?
he's not that nice.
What show is that?
Wet Hot American Summer, the one we did the last one, the TV one, yeah.
Well, that is one aspect of the story that I was curious about. Like, have you in fact had situations where you feel like you're just being used to get to John Hamm?
Have I? No, No, I think it's the other way around. Most people are friends with John Hamm to try to get to me.
I will tell you, I feel like for the past 20 years, often will get a text like, David, I'm a big fan. We're doing this incredible project. Do you think you could ask Paul Rudd? You know, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, was I done? I was done.
And now, given the notion of the celebrity sex pass, how did the two of you land on John Hamm as the sort of like the object of pursuit?
I mean, don't you think? Va va voom, right? I mean, the guy is not too hard to look at. I mean,
We've been friends with John for decades, and so and we hung out. We play poker together. We, yeah, that's right. We play poker.
Ooh.
Yeah. And so we were like, oh, who would be great? And we thought of John Hamm and John Slattery as a perfect combo for this story.
I mean, yeah, it turns out, I think, to be just serendipitously exactly perfect. Whether we ever had met them before or not, it just seems like John has a certain particular iconic place in our mind's eye in the general public, I think. And John Slattery is one of the funniest actors on earth. And so it all worked out.
And so we actually did go through John Hamm to get to John Slattery.
See?
And now, Zoey, Ken and David, like they create such a sort of specific comedic world. What is it like for you to sort of like sync up with that? And also, do you then? I'm wondering, were you ever concerned about going too broad, like having
Yeah.
things be too big?
Well, I spent a lot of time trying to decide if he was joking or not. 75% of my time, I was like, "Is that a joke? Is that do I do that? Do I not do that?" But I feel like I feel like I can translate a little bit. I felt like yesterday.
No, I think you're tuned in at this point.
Thank you. After the movie, I tuned in. What was the question?
Different tones. You play different tones and how to get the right tone.
Of course, I was scared. I just had to look to you to make sure that I wasn't. It's you never know, especially when you're in sort of almost every scene. It's hard to get a sense of if you're going too far or not far enough. And in general, I try to, and maybe this is annoying for directors, I don't know. I try to give as much of a variation as I possibly can, with always like protecting my.
Well, the opposite. In the
Initial
such a-
choices. I always
Yeah.
have a choice and a clear choice that I want to make going into the scene, but then I try, especially with something like this, to do as big and as little as I can, so that when you're in the edit, you can do whatever you want.
It's such a
whatever you-
gift in the edit room when we have that, because we're still very deeply tinkering with the tone all the way
Modulating.
through until we finished a few weeks ago when we finished it. It's really every moment we're like, oh, maybe just take this down just a hair so it fits in the target there, and there's no science to any of it, and it's just like what feels funny or what feels too silly or too off track, but then this is too boring and like.
Also, as an actor, the best thing in the world is when you're working with a director that you trust and that has a really clear, specific vision, which he does. All of his movies, he's created a world that is only his, and people love so much. But it's a very specific world, but it's proven to work and to be so funny and joyful, and so ultimately, I just went in there and trusted whatever he wanted me to do. So. That was where my head was at with the tone, and the script was so funny. It was so funny. So, yeah.
Because Ben, Miles, how did you guys sort of sync up to David's world?
I mean, I still, Zoe's figured it out. I still don't know when he's joking and when he isn't. I really don't. But I think, I mean, for me, the best part was that, Ken and David have worked together for so long, and they've brought together so many people who are all very generous and kind. They're extremely funny, which is intimidating, but they're generous and kind, and kind, so that makes it easier to sort of feel like you're a part of the team.
John can answer on this one too.
Yeah, what do you think?
John Hamm is
John,
not
what do you-
here because he's shooting right now in Winnipeg, but he wanted
What
to
was it
answer,
like filming the
working with
what is
us
this one? I want
here.
to see that one.
Given the amount of time that I've known them, I mean, it was surprisingly awful. I absolutely hated it.
Well, thank you, John.
Thanks, John.
What does he hope that audiences take away from this movie?
What do I hope audiences walk away feeling? I guess each other.
Well, thank you, John.
You, John.
Oh, we're
What's it
doing
like
more.
working with Ken and David?
Yeah.
We just did that one.
What do you think audiences will take away?
Thanks, Zoey. That's so nice of you.
Now, Miles, how about for you? I mean, I'm sorry you have to follow the iPad.
The iPad,
But
yeah.
how did you kind of like get in sync with David's world?
Ken and David, it's a testament to their artistic spirit that they have this community of people that continue to want to work with them. Despite it all, you know. They are so inclusive. They wanted us to show up as ourselves. They created an environment in which we felt like we really could play. Every single day on set felt like so playful. I felt like I was at summer camp or like
Or play space,
like play space, like McDonald's.
like Gymboree or something.
Yes, you took the words out of my mouth. Yeah, I just every single day was so playful and collaborative that like when they're creating an environment like that, it's like how can you not show up and be a team player and jump right in?
Did you want to add something, John?
Do you,
And now, Ken, what is it like for
Go ahead.
you acting in these projects? Like, is it good for you to be sort of there on set? Like, are you guys rewriting as the production's going on? Like, what is it like for you shooting and performing in these movies that the two of you have written together?
Well, it's always fun to, to work on our movies. I want to be there all the time so we can kind of collaborate and talk about like, how do we change this? This scene might not be working. We need a joke here. And so we were always coming up with things on the fly, trying to make scenes better. And in terms of acting in it, we have a shorthand. We've worked together for a long time. So, it's easy to kind of bounce back and forth between the acting and sort of like overseeing, producing, and writing, and kind of collaborating with David on like what works in a scene and what doesn't work in a scene, or how we have to kind of get some options here and stuff like that. So for me, that's the fun part,
Because, John, I don't think I'm spoiling anything here, but there's a gag in the movie that is one of the funniest things I've seen in quite a while, and it's so simple. You put your foot in a door, and someone just slams the door on your foot like over and over and over again. And I don't know why I found it just to be so funny, even though it's so simple and so silly. Like a moment like that. What was that like for you?
Well,
Your foot.
Well, when they say, I wasn't sure about the tone. When he sticks his foot in the door and trying to close the door, I go, wait, we're trying to get into to see John Hamm, and then they go, well, hang on, and then the prop person brings in a leg with a fake shoe, the same as the one I'm wearing, and then I got the idea that sort of set the tone, like, oh, we're just going to shove this fake leg in the door and slam the door 65 times. and that's what we did. And it just went, ow, 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 ow. And then I went and, did a bunch of, you do like looping, you do a post-production recording and you go into the studio and it's just like, just say ow 65 times because there might have been a plane flying over or something. And
We also worked with an absolutely insane, brilliant editor, John Daigle, who helped us all together. We worked together, but just like shaping, and there's always that idea of like, is it one more of those or two more here or cut back to his face there? And like that sequence has been a favorite every time anyone's seen this film. And, I think it's truly an editing masterwork, I think, as well as everything about it. It's one of those things that just happens to make sense.
But working with those guys, like, there was a sequence where Ken's character, we have to go rescue these guys, and he doesn't want to go, and it's a sort of mock serious moment where I'm like, what's that roll of film you're holding? This sort of symbol,
what does it
whatever.
represent, or
Yeah, what does it represent? And we did this whole thing where I just started slapping him in the face every time he wouldn't go, and we just did it. And it's not in the movie, but we did it for I don't know a half an hour, and
It was never going to be in a movie. It was just a kink of mine.
well. Well, that's sort of but yeah, I didn't know that. I was just like, I got an idea. It wasn't in the script. I just started slapping him in the face.
Ken had to
It was-
cancel
I thought
his
it was funny.
Rolfing session that day, so he needed to.
And so, but no one ever said, don't do that anymore, or like, I'm never going to use this, so stop doing it. You're wasting time. It was funny. We kept doing it, and then they didn't use it. But that was sort of what it was like, despite our short shooting schedule. And I don't know, it was extremely well produced in that a good producer sort of eats all the tension that is coming in and doesn't pay it forward to the people trying to have fun, which is necessary on the set. To do a movie like this, you have to be loose. You have to be able to screw around, and David's always there watching, and you know he's watching, and you trust him implicitly. And Ken, who, they're there, they wrote it, they know it, every kind of, to have those sources and resources.
Well, I feel like when you
Incredible.
see a comedy and you can feel that the people making it and the actors in the movie on the screen are themselves having fun, then you will have fun watching it. And the opposite is also true. Has anyone? I'm just curious. Who's already seen it?
Yeah.
Oh, like a third of you. Okay, I'm just curious. Okay.
The rest of you losers didn't get a ticket, right? Is that what it is? Oh, well, you guys are in for a fun ride. Yeah, I got a couple tickets right here. Start the bidding at... Oh, shit.
I know, David, I feel like a question that you and Ken always get has to do with improvisation and like what is improvised, what's not. Is that something that you feel like you have to leave space for in the performance? Like do you do that work before you're shooting? Like how do you leave some room?
Well, we shot this movie in 4 days total. Sorry, not that short. 21 days. But we have a history of working on things that are often tightly scripted, tightly budgeted, and with time. And one of the things. Can we start over? Pretend you just asked that question.
Okay, yeah. How do you leave
so-
space for the performance?
There's less improv than one might think based on the tone of the movie, because we do work hard to sort of get it figured out in the script and then in the prep and then figuring it out and then maybe a few rehearsals. But we do also leave room at all points, and we always say there's time and a place in any scene to try stuff and improvise. But it's not the style that sometimes had become in fashion at points in comedies where you just roll endlessly and people riff and see what happens. Ken and I were in a sketch group, and I was in film school in college, and we sort of, instead of being an improv group, and we kind of embraced the idea of the cinematic tradition of writing it down first and then doing it.
Yeah, no, I mean, what David was saying, it's important to us we work really hard on trying to write lines that feel improv-y or that feel natural, and we want to get that music down, and so it's important to, bring in people who kind of recognize that, but then are also very good at kind of, going away from the text, but bringing it back in a way. There are certain people who want to improvise and take it, too far, and then they never come back. But then there are certain people who are really good at like respecting the text, but also bending it a little bit and coming right back. And so you feel safe with them as actors, and you feel like the words that we're doing, the words that we put on the page, are being like represented properly. And like we're very lucky to have this cast because they all did that. Really beautifully.
Some people call us the David Mamet of writing.
Who?
IndieWire.
Okay.
And Zoey, was that a difficult sort of like to sync up with that, with like where you would be able to go off script a little bit? Like, do you like improvising?
I do, but I wasn't surprised that it was less than one might expect, because I think they make it look easy when you watch the movies. You're like, oh, those people are just so funny. They just came and did their thing, and that's what a lot of great artists do. They make it look easy. So I didn't expect to come in there and think that I was like joining an improv troupe. Like I knew that I was working with really, really, really smart people who work really, really hard to tell insanely dumb jokes. Like the leg,
Yeah, and
it's harder than it looks. And so I didn't have any like delusions about like what was gonna happen. But it wasn't hard. The only thing that was hard was not like breaking and ruining takes all the time, because mostly it's illegal. He's so funny. Every take I would just like you're just truly.
But I do think she's
so funny.
She's exaggerating. I think it's not actually illegal.
No, he's not illegal.
And then what was it like being able to actually shoot in LA? There's actually some stuff that you've shot on Hollywood Boulevard. I can only imagine that's not
Well,
easy.
yeah, some of the stuff on Hollywood Boulevard, that was literally illegal. We
That was illegal.
we shot a fair amount of footage of them walking around and doing stuff just on an iPhone or on very tiny cameras, and just like truly run and gun guerrilla. Like, run in there, try that. Just stand there. Okay, get out of the way, crew, get out of the way. Drink some coffee and say, and then. And then Joe and Mather interviewing, trying to find her on the street.
What
and
about the snake bit? That never made it in.
No, because we couldn't get a clearance. We couldn't get a release signed.
It was illegal. He put a snake on it. What was that whole thing?
On Hollywood Boulevard, there's those like freaks with the big snakes. We ran up to the guy and he put the snake on me. I started screaming, but it didn't make it in.
There was also a crazy woman dancing with us for a while on Hollywood Boulevard.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
And she was like
Oh my God.
fully mugging for the camera and like couldn't be more excited to be there. And then she wouldn't sign a release. She's like, I've learned in my life never to sign anything. And we're like, okay.
Good advice.
Yeah, that was a. There's actually there's a very long whole like they're out and about in Hollywood montage that ended up getting cut way down to almost nothing. But shooting on location in LA was super fun, and to be able to, so often as we know they shoot Vancouver for LA or whatever, and so we got to just be on the real Hollywood Boulevard and do those things.
And did you have any other favorite locations?
Well, I mean, we also to shoot in the on a low budget movie at the Chateau Marmont would be absolutely impossible, and so we just shot on the street next to it. And then when we go inside, we're at this place called Hummingbird Ranch, which is like an hour and a half away. No, we had fun. We shot up in the Elysian Park with the view of the city, and it was fast. We were doing 2-3 locations a day, and it was I appreciate them saying oh, we never said you'd stop doing that. It's not going to be used in the movie, but I think you have rose-colored glasses because we kind of said that all the time. I mean, just we had to make it's a constant making good choices. Like stay back, let them play. We're going to find something great here, or we just got to move on because we know we're going to not make the day.
But when he would say, I wasn't to say it was a free for all. The script was so tight and funny. There were a few alts, but it would often come from David. This time when he does that, say this and say it. So there were 3 of those that they had in mind, and then, but also the moving. You knew when he said, "Okay, we're good." We got this. We're good. You were fine with it. Sometimes you're not sure. Like I want more. I want to try this, but it was always.
There's one moment when you kick them all out of the garage and you say, I like what is it?
I like what my women like. I like my men chunky as fuck.
Right.
That was the last.
And so that was one where we had maybe 7 alts of like what he could say, and they're all pretty funny.
One of them was so long I couldn't get it.
Yeah.
Oh,
But that's one we should put on YouTube.
We should we talk about we did. There was a gigantic fight sequence.
Right.
That, like in the script, it was it was supposed to go on forever, and so
This is when
our stunt coordinator
Vlad
got all these stunt guys and did what would normally take in like a superhero, like a big budget movie, weeks. we shot it in a day. We shot this gigantic fight scene with John and John's
This is in the.
stunt
If you
double.
saw the movie, it's in the saloon when he's taking down all the henchmen in the saloon.
And it got cut down significantly, but it was like this enormous fight sequence with tons of stunts, and we shot it like twice. Then they rehearsed it like for a half a day, came in, and then it was just we were moving so fast, but it was a testament to Vlad and all the stunt guys and John and David and like to just like get everything we needed to get.
Everyone
We had 4
took on.
cameras that day.
Everyone, cast and crew, took on this challenge of like, okay, we have limited time. What can we do with limited budget? And sometimes it's the mother of invention, and you come up with clever solutions, better solutions. And from going back to Wet Hot American Summer, I always think about like, oh, if I had had all the time in the world, I would have shot this much more conventionally, but ended up having to do it all in one, and it was much cooler, And we try to do that throughout.
And then, John, given sort of the nature of the business right now, is it meaningful to you when you get to shoot in Los Angeles?
I mean, I shot a thing in Dublin that doubled for North Carolina all last winter. Yeah, I mean it's insane. I mean I don't understand. I don't understand the economics of it, but I know that it's possible, and I know that all these states have sort of rolling tax credits, and I mean it's a I mean, it's more than a shame because people are losing their houses and people are having to move away, and I mean, it's doable. We have to fix this because
The community cost, though, the cost of separating families and kids staying in
Exactly.
school and dads having to go, moms having to go. It's just, I think that's much higher than even the financial hit.
it's doable and it's fixable, and it's the home of American cinema, and then we have to be able to shoot there. And it's also, I mean, yes. And Kevin, our DP, had all these shots that he sort of stole with drones, and there's this a beautiful little love letter to Los Angeles, intentionally. And I couldn't be happier to have shot it in Los Angeles.
Even though you don't live there.
I spent a lot of time there, but I don't live there.
And Zoe, is it exciting for you when you get to shoot in LA?
Of course, and I mean, I couldn't agree more with everything that he said. I'm from LA. I love LA. I'm from a family of artists. Having the opportunity to film in Los Angeles and to also, we only shot one day on what was it? I keep forgetting.
Warner Brothers Studio Lab.
But the feeling of the collective energy of being at a place where so many incredible artists have worked before. I mean, you see the plaques on the, of what films shot where you're walking right there. There's just that is so it's just you don't get that anywhere else. And the legacy, we had the most incredible crew, and they were all just so grateful and excited to be home and to be working in Los Angeles. It's so rare. It was a real privilege, honestly.
And we had some incredible artists who are like, to me, in my mind, the very top of their field, who their last job was like doing an infomercial out of town or something. And it's like now they're like, oh, great, let's do something.
You see the Warner lot. You've seen this square in countless movies, and to walk on there the first day of shooting, and shoot a sequence I won't give away, but it was it was magical, and it was made to look like that. I mean, that's why movies look the way they look, and it was. I couldn't have felt more lucky to be on this movie.
Jack Warner's a good friend, so.
And now I don't want to give any away, but there are a lot of very fun celebrity cameos in the movie. Are those just like folks you guys already know? Like, what was it like for you to sort of like populate the Hollywood of the movie?
Not all of them were people that we had crossed paths with at some point, and just reached out and said, "Would you be up for coming and doing something goofy?" And it was amazing the responses we got. One again, without spoiling, one person flew in from out of town just to do it for fun, and other people came and just. There was a spirit similar to what we're saying of just like, yeah, let's support this thing happening,
Because you're awesome. You guys are.
No, it's about you.
Well,
Guys
I
are
mean, I
awesome.
feel like we can spoil that one, right? Because that's a good
Sure.
story, right?
Yeah,
So Weird Al is in the movie. But that's not the
Thank
that's
you.
not the surprise, right? So Weird Al's in the movie. He's in this scene at playing Weird Al at this mansion. He pulls up, and we're like, who would be great to be in a golf cart next to Weird Al?
But we had brainstormed like, is it a guy in a bear suit, or
Right,
is it like
is it a guy who looks like Weird Al, like a weird, his like double or something? What's the funny thing? And then we landed on Penn and Teller, Penn Gillette should be sitting next to him, but not saying anything. And so he doesn't say anything. And we're like, that would be really funny. So like
to have the most unsilent partner be literally wordless.
and David is one of his hobbies is he's a magician, and so he's talked to Penn. Penn's in L.A. and David texted him. He's like,
Penn's
"You
in
wanna come
Vegas.
What's that?
Penn lives in Vegas.
He lives in Vegas. I'm sorry, Vegas. That's what I meant. And then he texted him and was like, "You want to come and do this thing?" And we're like, "You don't get to speak." He's like, "I don't get to say anything." And we're like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Absolutely, I'm in." And he flew in for the day to just sit there and drink a drink, sitting next to Weird Al, losing his mind.
So many of the texts, I remember there's so many texts where I'm like, this is a real long shot. Like, I know you're got better things to do, but do you want to travel far to come do nothing, and just, it's so dumb. And they're like, what time? I'll be there.
And we have just a couple minutes for questions from the audience. We have a microphone for you if anyone has a question.
Or just scream it really loudly.
Oh,
Nobody has a question?
oh, right here.
Hi. I feel like in this movie more than your other movies, you leaned into like gross out humor, like the foot slamming thing, or some scenes that I won't spoil, like or maybe I'll spoil one of them. Okay. Then I just feel like you leaned into some, like when Zoey pops out her foot.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, there were a lot of times when the audience went like, ugh. Is there any thought behind that?
Is that a question, really?
That is a
Or
question.
more of a review.
That's David's son, by the way. The truth is we wrote what we thought was funny. Certainly, that type of humor
Totally unprofessional. The whole
speaks to me, and so I like that stuff. If you can sporadically put it through a story, and to find moments like that, and to build moments like that throughout the story, I think is nice little pops of, because there's a lot of wordy jokes in the movie, a lot of heady jokes, a lot of wordplay and things like that, and so to kind of sprinkle in a couple of visual gags that make you go, whoa, oh shit, oh, like that's important to have that balance. And so that's why we did that.
And my only add-on would be just as a reminder to clean up your room and get your homework done before tomorrow morning.
Also, they added a few fart sounds,
Yeah.
which I always love.
It's the mix.
like,
It's-
wait, did I?
we-
I went to did a little loop. I was like, and then they showed the scene. I was like, wait, did you just add a fart sound there? I was like, and some of them would get covered by the laughs too, which
To me, I've always
I was
felt
kind
like
of bummed out about.
there's no rule to our comedy. It's just what we find is funny, and comedy is comedy. And so, the earliest memory I have is I remember we were doing a crazy speech with Gene the chef in Wet Hot American Summer, and while we were about to roll, I'm like, wait a minute, Amy Poehler, just walk by with your tray, and as he opens the door, it smashes everywhere. And it's like the most classic, unoriginal, dumb joke. Just add on, like, I found it funny, so let's do it.
And yeah, please.
And I will auction the tickets. My voice is fine. On the footage you weren't able to use the gorilla footage, which I love gorilla footage. It's my jam. I will do it to the power of 10. Did you have a look at clearance possibilities?
What do you, yeah.
And like really beat the drum, like on, because now I'm like, I want to look at the footage and go, how I could use it anyway.
I'm actually not quite 100% understand. But what we did is anything that we shot, if we felt like we might want to use it, we tried to find the people who were in it and get their release, and tried to see if we could clear whatever's shown in the film, whether it's an advertisement or a piece of artwork. Is that what you're?
I'm looking at it from fair use. Like I'm going to another level.
Uh-huh.
Because my attorney is Johnson Perez, and that's her specialty. And I would have gone, how do we use it?
Right.
I would have just gone,
It was definitely
I'm already in love with everything you've done, and I'm like, oh my God.
right. Yeah, there was quite a bit of headaches in post over like, oh, that painting that's blurry on the wall from across the street we don't know who painted it, so we have to cut that out, and stuff like that.
I'm just in love with what you did. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Some of the faces of the people on Hollywood Boulevard, we couldn't find them, so we changed the face in post.
Well, David, before we go, I just want to be sure to ask you, going back to Wet Hot American Summer, you have such a long relationship here with Sundance, with Park City. What does it mean to you to have this film coming here the last year here in Park City?
It's hard to put into words. So much gratitude. I first came here in '93 with my short film, and then 2001 again with Wet Hot American Summer, and then several times again. Yeah, and I feel like it's marked my whole life, my career, and we're working with all these different groups of friends over the years, and being here in this town and this festival has always felt like you're in this place where there's such a very tight, packed together group of people who care deeply about films and care about community, and running into them up and down Main Street, it's just very, very special. And I know that and hope that Sundance continues in Boulder in another thing, and things will always change and evolve no matter what. And so I look forward to seeing what that is, but this certainly caps off a very wonderful 28-year thing. Yeah.
And then I guess should we let John Hamm have the last word? Like,
Yeah.
is there another
Yeah.
John
Yeah.
Hamm response that you like?
Yeah. I think.
I just wanted to pipe in and see if I can answer any questions as well. I'm sorry I can't be there in person. I'm stuck up here in Winnipeg. But yeah, fire away.
Oh, I guess that was
You probably should have done
really
that
quite the
first.
wrong one. But here, you know what? No one's.
How
asked
about everybody
what-
just come up here and gather around this? It's probably better.
Here, do you want to hear who his celebrity pass is?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's another great question. Celebrity sex pass. I'd say maybe the mom from The Incredibles. Or John Slattery.
Oh, and John Slattery.
Or John Slattery. he
Oh,
said.
that's nice.
John Slattery's not animated. So dumb.
That's great.
He said he's like, wait, John Slattery's not animated. That's so dumb.
And with that, we'll let Mr. John Hamm have the last word. I thank all of you for being here today, and if we can ask all of you to remain seated
Thank you.
while our guests make their way out the back. Thank you.